Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you've been watching for a while, you know I don't pull punches with movies. I review a lot of films here, and yeah, I can be pretty critical, but here's my philosophy. A movie's primary job is to entertain. Everything else, the cinematography, the acting, the writing, the technical stuff, that all matters, yes. But if we're grading on a scale of 1 to 100 and the film hits that 50% entertainment threshold, it's doing its job. Now you see me, now you don't. This is not a technical masterpiece. The cinematography is fine. The writing is fine. The acting is fine. It looks fine. But here's the thing, and I mean it. Genuinely, this movie gets what it's supposed to be, and it commits to it fully. So let's talk about why a movie that has absolutely no business working actually works. I caught this at a packed 10 p.m. screening at Regal Essex Crossing on opening night. The theater was packed. That definitely helps. You know, they had a sign saying it was sold out. And I was like, how is Now You See Me 3 sold out? There hasn't been a Now You See Me movie in 9 years. This is directed by Ruben Fleischer, who directed Zombieland, Uncharted, Venom. He is a director for hire. This is not a guy who you hire because you want his, visual brilliance. He's done a bunch of okay blockbusters, and now they're saying, well, why don't you do Now You See Me 3? I wasn't expecting anything amazing. This is pure, unfiltered, mindless fun. And before anyone says that's code for bad movie, hear me out. I love movies that are weird and unconventional. I'm talking movies like 28 Years Later, Die My Love, films that completely reject the Hollywood formula and create something genuinely unique. But there's another lane here, and it's equally valid, the turn your brain off and have a good time lane. The Weeknd's Hurry Up Tomorrow is an objectively terrible movie. It's a mess, nonsensical, weird, narratively broken, but it's so much fun to watch. Even regretting you, that terrible Colleen Hoover adaptation that just came out works because its convoluted story is entertaining. Sometimes a movie does not need to be great. Sometimes you just need it to work. And Now You See Me, Now You Don't is the third installment in a franchise that peaked in 2013. That's 12 years ago. The second movie came out in 2016, so we're talking about a franchise that by all accounts should feel completely dated and irrelevant in 2025. But instead, the filmmakers made a smart choice. They updated it. There's a bit of modern stuff in here, cryptocurrency, AI, deepfakes. They transplanted this concept into the modern world without overstuffing it. None of these elements feel organic? Not really. Does it feel kind of surface level, like how do you do fellow kids energy? Absolutely. But you know what? It doesn't matter because the movie moves. Here's where I want to get analytical. The movie operates on the opposite spectrum of, let's say, Predator Badlands, which came out a couple weeks ago. Predator Badlands works because it's simple. It's straightforward. It's a slick, clean studio blockbuster that knows exactly what it is. A Predator movie. It has two main characters, a focused mission, a clear enemy, and it executes it flawlessly. It's fun because of its simplicity. Now You See Me 3 works for the exact opposite reason. It's overcomplicated, it's overstuffed, it's packed with cliches and massive ensemble chaos. But instead of drowning in that chaos, the movie leans into it. It embraces being this bloated, ridiculous 70s, 80s heist movie updated for the modern era. And somehow that works too. Think about the cast. Jesse Eisenberg, Isla Fisher, who's back after skipping the last film, Morgan Freeman, Woody Harrelson, Dave Franco, Lizzie Kaplan. Then you've got your newcomers, Ariana Greenblatt, Justice Smith, Dominic Sessa, plus Mark Ruffalo in this cheeky little cameo at the end. And Rosamund Pike as your villain, this arms dealer, diamond company owner. Now, Pike's character could have been absolutely boring, right? Generic potboiler villain. But Pike understands the assignment. She's hammy, she's surface level, but the filmmakers give her just enough weird daddy issues and quirky motivations to work. She's a cog in this massive ensemble machine, and she knows it. Every actor in this film knows they're a cog, and they're all committed to spinning that wheel. But here's the critical part, and this is important. The movie works because it sacrifices real character depth. The pacing is intentionally relentless. It never stops, it never breathes, and at first I was like, this is great, constant momentum. But then I realized this movie cannot stop. If it stops, you notice the artificiality in what is happening. You notice the paper-thin characterization. You notice that Morgan Freeman appears in the middle of the film, has basically one meaningful scene, and then just dies. And there's zero emotional register. Like, seriously, it's almost funny how the movie breaks its own fourth wall with that. Freeman hasn't been in these films in 9 years. He has no meaningful connection to any of these characters at this point, but the script needed an emotional beat, so it awkwardly inserted him for one scene. It's not organic, but the movie knows that. If it keeps moving, you won't have time to notice. And the twist with Justice Smith's character, Charlie being the mastermind all along, he's actually related to Rosamund Pike's character, that's actually smart from a narrative narrative perspective, but it comes at the expense of character development across the board. We don't get real growth. We don't get meaningful moments. We get plot points delivered at breakneck speed. Now, subjectively, for this type of film, I think that's the right call. It enhances the escapism. It makes you feel more transported into this reality because you're not given time to question it. You're just in it. And here's the thing about that strategy. It's not accidental. This movie has a $90 million budget. You're splitting that across an ensemble cast. A-list stars, international filming locations, top-tier crew. That's not cheap. But the studio knows exactly what they are buying. They are not buying a masterpiece. They are buying a product that works. They're buying something that gets bodies into seats. And honestly, look at the box office. The movie opened to $21 million domestically, $75 million worldwide. For a franchise that hasn't made a film in nearly a decade, a franchise that should feel dated, that's solid and profitable. And that's the entire point. The filmmakers made smart choices within that constraint. Don't reveal Justice Smith's mastermind twist until the third act. That's word of mouth. Keep the legacy stars visible, Eisenberg, Harrelson, Fisher, but surprise people with Ruffalo's cameo. Make it feel fresh without actually taking any real risks. It's a machine designed to work, not to transcend, which is fine. But it also means you're never getting that truly spectacular heist sequence. You're never getting a scene that lives rent-free in your head, because that would require time, budget allocation, and creative risk. And this movie is allergic to all three of those. Here's where I think the movie leaves money on the table. The heists are not that impressive. Like, genuinely, the magic acts are not visually stunning or unique. There's a scene with a rotating hallway that is lifted directly from Inception, and worse. It's cool, but it's not novel. There's barely any suspense. There's no real holy shit moments that make you go, I need to clip that and post it online. Compare that to the first Now You See Me movie. Remember that scene where Eisenberg changes costumes, pretends to be a waiter, gets backstage, and basically cons his way into hacking the show? That's the kind of scene that lives on social media. That's the kind of scene that sells the movie. I see that on TikTok all the time. That's the kind of moment that makes people think, oh, this is actually cool. Now You See Me 3 doesn't have a ton of that. And you know what? That's a missed opportunity. If you're making a 112-minute heist movie with a massive budget and this incredible cast, you could absolutely lean into more elaborate cons, more impressive illusions, more spectacle. A truly great film in this space would give us that. Look at something like The Matrix or Inception. You know, those are scenes that stick with you. They're groundbreaking. This is not groundbreaking. It's fine. It's perfectly competently fine. Here's what's interesting to me, though. The original concept from 2013 is genuinely intriguing. Magicians who are actually robbers who steal from their own shows while evading an FBI hunt. That's a great premise. The first film was relatively grounded. It had stakes and tension. The movie steps back from that. It's less realistic, more silly, more theatrical, and there's a trade-off there. You can either have a grounded heist thriller, or you can have a bonkers fun ensemble chaos machine. This chose the latter. I'm not saying that's a bad choice. I'm saying it's a choice and it comes with consequences. The consequence is you lose the potential for a truly great film. The benefit is that you gain a more universally appealing, lighter, easier to digest blockbuster. The business of entertainment is all about trade-offs. And honestly, for the budget these movies command, I think audiences deserve slightly more in the spectacular illusions department. But I also understand that adding more set pieces means adding more runtime, more complexity, more cost. So here we are. So here's my final take. Now You See Me 3 is not amazing, it's not innovative, it's not groundbreaking, it's perfectly solidly fine. And in November, when you're looking for a fun movie to see with a packed theater, with a great vibe, with an ensemble cast that's clearly having a good time, that's exactly what you want, what I want. It knows what it is, it commits to it, and it delivers on the promise of being entertainment, even if it doesn't deliver on the promise of being great entertainment. Is it worth your time? Yeah, probably. Is it worth seeking out in theaters if you want that communal experience? Absolutely. If you're waiting for it to hit streaming, you're not missing anything game-changing, but you're also not wasting 2 hours. And honestly, in a cinematic landscape where too many films try to be more than they are, there's something refreshing about a movie that just wants to be fun, even if it's not amazing at it. If you dig this kind of analysis, hit that subscribe button. Let me know in the comments what you thought of Now You See Me 3. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.